So let's move on to our second topic, and then we have someone on Facebook and Twitter who wants us to talk about the Wii U. All right. So first up, Stephen Rhodes. He says that the top 10 Wii U exclusives over its lifetime and why. That's what he wants us to talk about. And he says, seeing as the Wii U is now in its twilight months, Breath of the Wild probably shouldn't count towards the Wii U roster. So this is the big thing to note. We can't put Breath of the Wild on our list. And seeing as it isn't actually released yet. I'd also argue that because it's a multi-platform game, you can argue maybe it shouldn't be on the Wii U list. But at the same time, I have multi-platform games on my list, so that's just it. If it's a game on Wii U, I think it counts. But I agree. I agree that including Breath of the Wild as a full game really can't be put on there because none of us have played the full game.
Yeah, right.
But we'll have an interesting discussion on this later.
Yes.
So let's just get right into our top 10 Wii U games. What do you got from here?
What do I got? I haven't played much for the Wii U.
Yes, remember, he is kind of like a Wii U noob. He just played what I had when he came over.
Pretty much. So in no order whatsoever, I've played 9 games. Smash Brothers, Mario Kart 8, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Splatoon, Super Mario 3D World, New Super Mario Bros. U, Super Mario Maker, Rayman Legends, and the Breath of the Wild demo.
And then there's one game you want to play.
And the one game that I want to play, which would be Lego Dimensions.
Okay. So, you've only played, 9 Wii U games that you can recall. Let's narrow that down more, because I feel like he asked a why. And for your why, this is just what I played.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, let's just pick out your top 3 games and tell me why they're your top 3 out of that list.
Okay. Let's see. Number 3 is probably Splatoon. It's a fantastic game. I don't think I played it much, but it was actually it's an interesting concept, something that I don't think has really ever been done before. So I think that's why I like it. Right in the top 3 at least. Second would be Mario Kart 8, because who doesn't love Mario Kart?
Mario Kart's amazing. It's
Mario
one of
Kart's
the best
amazing.
ones.
And then the top game would be the Breath of the Wild demo.
So a demo at number 1.
A demo at number 1. Yes, because it was fantastic. Yeah. I mean, it's even... I think it makes the top 10 in, games played, even. That's how amazing that demo was.
So, I know he said not to bring up, the Breath of the Wild shouldn't count. And this is a special use case for you because you haven't played a lot of Wii U games. Yet, because he talks about how it hasn't actually released yet, but we have both played it.
Yes, we have both played the Wii U version of it.
Of it. Yes, we have not. And then I know Alfred over at Zelda Informer. He's at PAX this weekend. This weekend we're recording. He's going to play the Switch version. Good for him.
Yeah.
Wish I could be there.
Yeah. Right.
But no, I'm right here, and I just want to talk about what about that game makes it stand out to you. From just that demo. And remember, for those who don't know, the E3 demo at Wii U is basically the beginning of the game.
Yep. I really loved the open world concept to go explore, do whatever you want to do. There was a couple different areas within that area, too. Like, they had the snow area that you decided to go randomly die.
A bunch of times. Naked runs.
Yep. I think just the gameplay, you can go through that multiple times and never have the same gameplay. I mean, there's probably hundreds of thousands of different combinations that you could play with that game and never have a single, similar run. So...
Yeah, I think the only reason 2 of the times I had a similar run is because I didn't get that Step Talus footage the first time I beat him, so we had to get it the second time, and I literally did the exact same thing I did to get it the first time. Well, a little bit different. Actually, what sucked is the video that we have recorded that got posted at Zelda Informer got, it says like 150,000, 200,000 views or whatever it has. And that's actually my worst battle against him.
Yeah, right, yeah.
My first battle I beat him, I was a badass and didn't even get hit. And, like, I didn't have to, like, you'll see if you go watch that video, maybe I'll put a link down in the description of this topic. There's a point in there where I'm trying to do, because they got the slow motion arrow shooting, and I know how to do it, but I go to try to do it, and I fail at it, and then I get hit, and then I almost die.
Yeah.
It's like, man. And part of it was because I think that footage might have come when we were up in the VIP area.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a little nerves running because it wasn't so much that that had anything to do with the booth babe or whoever it was that was directing me, because we had already been around them all day. So there really wasn't anything for me to feel weird about. But I also had like a kind of a big headwig from like Nintendo there. Plus, if you looked around up there, was like people from Kotaku up there, and people from like big media sites that. This was our first trip ever to E3. Don't know if we'll ever go back again. If we do, it probably won't be for a few years. But if we end up going back again some years, it's one of those really interesting that we're among that crowd.
Right.
Especially, like, we work at Nintendo Prime now. Like, this is what we do.
Yep.
And, for those who don't know, I will be retiring from Zelda Informer on April 30th. I might have a big goodbye segment, on Nintendo Prime Podcast. Wait on the line for that. We'll go over some memories, because he's been with me with Zelda Informer for a long time, helping him along. So Nintendo Prime is kind of what we do now. And it's just weird that we are sitting there among, like, these media members that we read every day. We read their stuff. Like, we're just fans of their work.
Yeah.
So a lot of nerves. So I wanted to look good. And apparently, like, they were so impressed by how I was playing that I was, like, the best player up there.
Yeah.
I'm just like...
You drew quite a crowd.
I'm just like... And the thing is, I didn't look around me to see the crowd.
Yeah.
I just, like, whatever. And the other... Like, I can't even tell you what to do. You just already know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I've been playing Zelda quite a long time. 18 years covering Zelda. I think I know what I'm doing.
Unlike that other one booth person that was trying to tell you what to do.
Oh yeah, and I'm just like, it's cool. Like, I got it. And maybe this is this is a little bit off topic, but this was my first real experience dealing with people doing like the booth people trying to tell you how to play games. And I bring this up now because I recently watched it was either a Kind of Funny Gamecast or something where Colin Moriarty came on and he said it's so annoying that they don't just let you play the game.
Yeah.
And I agree.
I do too.
That was the most, like, all I wanted them to do was hold my phone and record footage, period. Shut your mouth. Your job.
If I have a question, I will ask.
The thing is, depending on who you asked, they were willing to hold.
Yeah.
But then you have some people like, oh, I don't know, let me ask around if I can do that. And everyone's like, yeah, you just hold it up and just record. They're like, oh, I got to set this down now so I can tell you something. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And now, granted, part of that's on me. Like, now I have, like, the stand that I'm using right now. I have a stand now that can hold my phone or hold a different camera that I didn't have at the time. I should have thought ahead and got one. But that being said, my mistake that I didn't have a setup for it. It's that they just, like, you're trying to tell me this stuff that, I mean, I know that we're one of the rare groups there that we were just there for Breath of the Wild, so we just kept going through the line, So obviously, they're going to treat us like we're new to the demo every time. Because we played it 3, 4, 5, I don't know, six total hours between us we got to play.
Yeah, right.
We have, obviously, the VIP area being the best because we don't have to wait.
Yeah.
And, because it was a booth tour, we didn't actually have to tour the booth because we'd already been in it for 3 straight days.
So we got extra time.
So we actually got to play the demo twice in a row up top. But it's one of those... It feels like apparently this isn't just a Nintendo thing. Everyone does it, and for some things, when you're dealing with media, like I feel like if someone's holding a media badge, only interrupt them if they ask you
a question.
to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I have a badge that said Zelda Informer on it.
Yep. Read
the badge. Do you think I need your help with Zelda?
Right.
Like, let me play. And what's frustrating about that in that setting is, one, it takes you out of the game. Because it's weird, because in there, they're giving you headphones to play, but then they want to talk to you and interrupt your audio, and you're trying to listen into the music and everything. And then, so they're breaking your immersion with the experience. So you're not even getting the best possible experience you can. And then on top of that, they just really seem forceful. Like, when I was fighting Steptalis and I beat him the first time, They told me I cannot beat them. You need to leave this area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, one, thanks for giving me a challenge.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not going anywhere.
Now I'm going straight back there.
Like, and two, don't tell me how to play.
Yeah.
If they didn't want me to see this, it wouldn't be here.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
And if it's in there and I wasn't supposed to see it, too bad.
Yeah, right.
I already saw it.
Yep.
And the thing is, you couldn't get off the plateau in the demo, so obviously they clearly didn't care what you found in there.
Yep.
And later on in Nintendo Treehouse, after I'd beaten them, they beat them live on the thing, and it's like, cool, so they don't care if we see this. So it was just, like, don't be so rude to tell someone what they can and can't do.
Right.
If that's the case, design your demo better.
Right.
Like, at the Switch event, they had a second demo, but they wouldn't let people play it. And that's why, because it was the full game and they didn't want them finding certain things. And that makes sense.
Yes,
that's why they played it and you just talk to them and ask questions.
Right.
But at a demo you're letting me play, don't tell me what to do.
Right.
Let me explore. I will ask you questions. I did learn how to shield surf because the one guy told me. But he told me that after I'd beaten Septalis, and that was the time the footage didn't record.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh man, you're pretty good at this. Hey, why don't you try this button combo quick?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That little tidbit's okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind being told, oh, this is how you shield surf. Because I saw other people doing it, and I just didn't know how to do it.
Right.
He just thought, you're a highly skilled player.
Yeah.
Have a little fun with this.
Right,
kinda.
yeah.
So I sit there, and I'm thinking about that. And despite all that, the game was so good, I almost didn't care.
Yeah.
Just a little complaint about the treatment of media sometimes. And I get that you got to herd us through like cattle.
Yep.
But man, I only have 20 minutes on that demo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stop wasting 5 minutes of it, wasting my time trying to talk to me and get me to stop playing.
Yeah.
Anyways, it wasn't like that up in the VIP area. They let it go. And it helped that the one guy, we told him, dude, we've been playing this game all E3. So I think that helped too.
Yeah.
Because like they're not going to tell us what to do or whatever. Like I'm doing the death row and they're not going to say anything. This is what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like I originally thought I was trying to get to a temple. I went in the wrong direction. I thought I was getting to the one temple and I was going to try to beat it naked, or the one shrine. But I ended up going to the tallest peak instead.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't realize it until I got
footage.
There. But it was very interesting. Anyways, so that's your top 10.
Yep. And
your number one. Your number one's a demo. Like that's just a whole amazing.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's okay to include it in here because technically it is the a Wii U game, and we've played the version of it that's intended for the Wii U.
Yes.
I don't know whether or not the whole
and the thing is, you loved
game.
it so much that all the other Wii U games you played, that's like a cut above.
Yeah.
So my list. Don't worry, I don't have Breath of the Wild on my list. And it's not because I don't think it's deserving. It's because I've played a ton of Wii U games. So I'm kind of counting games that I've basically played all the way through. And I played it a lot. I've probably owned like 30, 40 different Wii U games at one point. Didn't beat all of them, but I beat a lot of them. Don't even own a Wii U right now. I'll probably have to pick up one again because I got to do some footage comparison stuff anyways. And it depends. If I get a review copy and it's only Wii U...
well, then, yeah.
No! I don't want to have to get a Wii U. Send me a Switch, Nintendo. So, my top 10, I got Bayonetta 2. Probably, in my opinion at least, the best action game this generation. Fantastic. Bayonetta was one of the best action games last generation. Nintendo funded Bayonetta 2. Obviously, I thought about including Bayonetta 1 because they also ported Bayonetta 1 over with the game. But I'm just going to stick with just Bayonetta 2. Absolutely fantastic. That's like a 9.8 out of 10 game for me. It's just almost perfection. And the thing is, I don't really like those kind of games, so for me to include it in this list is a big deal. Yeah. I enjoyed it enough, even though I don't like that kind of game. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Probably, and by the way, these are in no particular order. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, to me, and this feels like a bold statement, but I've said it before and I'm sticking by it. It is, to me, the best 2D side-scrolling platformer I've ever played.
Well...
Period.
Wow.
And I played it single player. I've played 2-player with us. Excellent experience all around. And I love the original Donkey Kong Country games. Obviously, I love myself some Super Mario World. All the other indie games out there. This is the best I've played in this kind of format. Anyways, Splatoon. You brought up some stuff about it. Just one of the best unique shooting experiences I've had ever. Mm-hmm. And it's not that the concept is necessarily brand new. I guess there was some indie game that did something with it before.
Oh, really?
But it wasn't nearly to this level. And Nintendo making new IP, this felt like Nintendo finally remembering how they came up with Mario, how they came up with Zelda. Like, this was a high-quality game that has the look of it being for everyone, but God, it's hardcore. Like, there's a lot of skill at this game to get good.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. It's easily approachable by everyone, but there's still that extra layer, like Smash Bros. There's still that extra layer if you want to make it competitive. Super Mario 3D World, fantastic. Maybe the best Mario game I played since Galaxy.
Yeah.
You know, it's not our full 3D, like Mario 64 style game that we're going to get with Super Mario Odyssey, supposedly.
Yeah.
But still, it's a lot of fun. That is the only game in my life so far that I have beaten with my girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
We beat it together.
Nice.
And so it's kind of got a special thing for me. Like, that might be the only time I beat any game with a girl. So, let alone my girlfriend. Mother of my children and everything, and she really loved it. And it's really cool because she doesn't really play a lot of games, but she loves that. She also loves like Mario Kart 8 and stuff. But Mario Kart 8 is not on my list, even though I do feel it might be the best Mario Kart game.
Yeah. Definitely.
But next up, Captain Toad. So my love of Captain Toad started with Super Mario 3D World when he had the Master Toad stages, and that's what spun off into Captain Toad. Captain Toad just took it to a whole new level. I love puzzle games. It is my favorite puzzle platforming game I think I've played in a long time. I love Captain Toad. Treasure Trackers, the official subtitle. Zombie U. I've talked about Zombie U in the past. I know it's now been ported to other consoles. It's still best on Wii U. Made true use of second screen gaming in a way that made sense and added suspense and horror to the game. And the game itself was fun. It was good. It was a really good game. Sold. It might have hit the million mark by now in total sales, but vastly underrated game. One of the best games at launch. Still, to me, one of my favorite Wii U games. Next up, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Really weird game. It's a mashup of Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem. Where like they port Fire Emblem guys and like they summon Fire Emblem people in the it's a really weird concept that you don't think is going to work because it just how the hell can it work? And it does. And it's a vastly underplayed, underrated. Nobody. I've never met a single person besides one other person that works over at Zelda Informer that has even heard of the game. Basically.
Yeah.
And that person, like, it's like their favorite game they've ever played. It is very, very good. If you have not played it and you own a Wii U, I highly suggest you go pick it up. Just give it a shot. You're going to really be surprised by that game. Don't go into it with expectations. Like, I'm telling you it's great. Don't expect it to be great. Because it's such a weird mashup. The trailers do not do it justice. You need to play it. Pikmin 3. Love me some Pikmin. I think I'm debating if it's the best Pikmin game. Pikmin 1 was really, really good. Pikmin 2 was okay. This is better than Pikmin 2. It's shorter than Pikmin 1, but I like the levels in this one better. Okay. And Pikmin is... I just really like Pikmin a lot. I'm actually kind of interested. They have like a 2D side-scrolling Pikmin thing going on 3DS coming out this year at some point. So I'm interested in that. It's not going to be the same type of experience, but I don't know. I've just always really liked Pikmin because it's a strategy game. It's basically a strategy game, a real-time strategy game.
Yep.
And I like that. I love those kind of games. That's why, to be honest, that's what I mostly do when I PC game is real-time strategy games. And then we got The Wonderful 101. The game that probably the most people out there are going to be like, oh, really? You're including that? Dude, I love The Wonderful 101. I know a lot of people didn't like it. It's a very weird game. Gathering up all these heroes, making them like into guns and all the stuff to solve all these puzzles. It's really weird.
Wait, what?
It's a really funky game. God, I love the funk. I love the puzzles. I love the final boss is amazing. There's everything in this game I want from like a new IP. Unfortunately, it did not hit the sales mark that it needed to probably get a sequel, so we'll probably never see another one like it. Again, it's a Platinum game problem. They make good games, but they don't sell.
Yeah.
Besides Bayonetta, usually sells a couple million at least.
Yeah.
And then I'm including this one, and it's not because I'm a huge fan of these kind of games. I'm just a huge fan of this game. Lego City Undercover. It's basically Grand Theft Auto Lego style.
That's awesome.
Basically what it is, except you play a cop. It is amazing. It's got all the classic things that you probably like from Lego games, breaking stuff, building stuff,
Yeah.
you know, yada yada yada. But it's got classic humor. There's jokes in there about the Titanic movie, and like they just go all out with it. It is amazing, vastly underrated, and when everyone says, "Oh, there was nothing from launch until Pikmin 3," technically there was Lego City Undercover.
Yeah.
And it was good. Very, very good. One of my favorite games on the Wii U, and it's being ported to Switch apparently. So you didn't get a chance to play it, and you love Lego games. So I can see this being a game that you'll pick up and really, really love.
Right.
Heck,
I included one on my list.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, you know, I can see we might even both pick that up and play, or maybe if we get a review copy of it, let you do the review for it because you love Lego games so much.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my top 10 list for Wii U games. There was somebody on. Let me see what does my notes say here. Somebody on Facebook and Twitter. So I did the Facebook one. This one says, "Oh, maybe there isn't one on Twitter. Maybe they're both on Facebook. No, okay, I guess that's it. I don't know why I made a note to look at both Twitter and Facebook, but there you go.
Well, that's because we did the top 10 was from Facebook. The one Twitter was from the Twitter was the go back to Twitter.
What? What's up with Twitter?
Twitter was that one. Oh no, Pokemon Duel.
No Wii U topics. Anyways, that's gonna do it for our second topic.